Alright, so we've made it back for day 2. I've swung out to the other side of Riverhead Forest to check out some of the old school tracks. Hopefully it'll be a bit drier today. It hasn't rained since yesterday. Now I did come up with an idea. I sent the picture of the KTM Prowler to my friends on the interweb, and Brooke came back to me and said this thing looks so damn sexy that he reckoned that he could be converted. And when I say converted, Brooke's an e-bike virgin. So Brooke, we're going to take this thing out today. I'll be interested to see how you get on with an e-bike and what you think of the KTM Prowler. But are you excited about this one?
Mate, I'm actually really excited.
I reckon this is a bit of you. It's a mullet, it's a bright colour, big travel bike. This has got to be you, hasn't it?
Well, mate, I'm just looking for the little bit of arrogance on the climbs when you're not flying past me telling me to hurry up.
All right, well, let's go and do that, shall we? All right, yeah, it's as dry as a bone. Okay, probably need to explain just a little bit. This is day 2 of me reviewing the KTM Prowler. Now I've already put out the review video. It was getting so long I decided to make this day into its own video. And it's kind of interesting because we've got Brooke, who's never ridden an e-bike before, and we've also got Brent joining us on his Trek Rail. And what we ended up doing was basically swapping and having turns on the different bikes. So it was interesting to see what everyone's reaction was to riding the different bikes, but also, most importantly, how did Brooke cope with riding an e-bike for the first time? Did he enjoy it? Did he hate it? What was his reaction? Brooke's starting off riding my Specialized Levo. I'm on the KTM Prowler, but we do swap around shortly. Anyway, if that kind of interests you, then anyway, come join us for a ride.
How much different is that?
What do you reckon?
That's so different, but it's fun.
It's fun going uphill, eh?
I'm impressed we're up here already.
Yeah.
Actually makes the uphill fun, even we go up corkscrew.
Yeah, we'll go up corkscrew, bit more climbing. Okay, so first downhill track of the day is a track called Baconator. Fairly steep and fairly slippery on days like today. Now, one thing you should keep in mind is Brooke in front of me is, he's been on e-bike now for about a total of 10-15 minutes. He's actually riding my bike and I'm struggling to stay with him. He seems to have taken to the whole e-bike thing very, very quickly. That looks interesting. To be honest, it's slightly annoying. If you've watched some of my videos, I ride with Brooke quite a bit, and actually being on an e-bike is quite cool because if the person is a little bit faster than you, you can use a little bit of power on some of the corners to catch up to him. But given that that advantage was gone, I was struggling now to stay with him. Now this next bit doesn't look it on the GoPro, but it's reasonably steep and pretty slippery at times. Oh, it's a bit skiddy. Oh, good grip though. I actually had a big crash here once. You landed on my head quite badly coming down just about there. Brent's on his Trek Rail. He made it look pretty easy though. Nice. Yeah, this will be a good test for the e-bike climb. I've actually got it in turbo for this. It's a matter of keeping traction. It's quite steep. No problem at all. Yes, for you continuity geeks, Brooke has suddenly got behind me and is now riding the same bike that I was, but don't worry about those things. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do a quick pedal swap. I got 3 riders here, and believe it or not, 3 different types of pedals. So we've all got to swap each time we want to change bike. But anyway, we'll quickly whip the pedals off this thing, and then Brooke can have a try on the KTM. What do you reckon?
Don't think I'll kill myself.
Yeah, alright, let's give it a try, eh? Alright, into the next track. This one is called Burning Ears. It's basically right next door to Baconator and ends exactly the same place as Baconator and is not a dissimilar track. Now we've swapped bikes. Brooke is now on the KTM Prowler and I've swapped back onto my own Levo. I think Brooke's got even faster and I'm still not managing to stay with him. Now Brooke's one of these riders, if you asked him does he want an e-bike, he would say no, he's quite happy doing what he's doing. However, I'm not so sure if you asked him at the end of this ride. It was definitely different. Brooke's the kind of guy who really likes to throw the back end of the bike around for no good reason sometimes, I think, but that's just the way he rides. And the e-bike, he did find that a little bit harder to do, but we managed to do so much on this day. You just couldn't wipe the smile off his face. He was having so much fun. So I don't know when Brooke will turn up on an e-bike, but I must admit, I think this one ride, he was completely sold on the concept of it. So a lot of people who are e-bike haters have just never ridden one and ridden one properly. But you come out on a day like this and you ride with a load of people with e-bikes and you realise they are just ridiculously good fun.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
That was great, man. Pretty skatey down there, but certainly fun. A bit sketchy at times.
What's the difference between riding that and a normal bike? Are you noticing it? A big difference?
Oh, massive difference.
Yeah.
Massive difference. On the way up, just too easy.
Yeah.
The way down, I'm getting used to the weight in the back because I flick my back around a lot on purpose.
Yeah.
It's just a bit delayed on this, which just caught me out. But,
Yeah.
But getting used to it, it's going to be outstanding once I'm dialed in, if you like.
Alrighty. All right, let's carry on.
All right, so we're on pedal change number 2. Brooke's taking his pedals off of the KTM, and Brent's going to have a ride on the KTM, and Brooke's going to have a ride on the Trek rail. So it really is going to see a bit of an experiment today.
Now I know some of you guys will find it hard to believe, but yes, we did actually have 3 different types of clipped pedals. That's right, none of us are riding flats. Now I know a lot of you guys have said in the comments I should really on my e-bike go to riding flats, but I guess we're all of that same generation that we started riding clips about 15 years ago, and we're just finding them really hard to give them up because we've just ridden on them for so long. But yeah, each one of us had a different type of clipped pedals. Anyway, I'm following Brent down, and he's now on the KTM. Been riding with Brent for many years. He's a very good rider, maybe not quite the same speed as Brooke, but still very good. And you can see he actually took to riding the KTM very quickly. Now Brent was one of these riders who took to e-biking very quickly. I think we made a video where we all went to Rainbow Mountain and we hired some e-bikes for the day, and some of Dad's army rode them and had fun, but they were still very much, we're never going to have one or not going to have one for another 10 years. But Brent went out and bought an e-bike the very same week. He was just absolutely convinced that this was the future. I think he's a bit like me, he's just a bit more intelligent than the rest of the Dad's Army boys. Now I know you guys always end up asking in the videos, but yeah, the first track was Floating Bridge, then we went down a cheese grater, and we're finishing up on Blazing Saddles here.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're heading up a track called the Battle of Midway now, and we've swapped yet again, and I'm back on the KTM. Did realise that I didn't actually end up riding the Trek Rail, although I have ridden that before, and that is a pretty cool bike as well. But this track I thought would be a good test, and I wanted to try the KTM out on some technical slippery routes.
Alright, this will be a good test for it. Good slippery off-camber climb. Especially this bit just here. Wah, messed it up. Bugger. Woo. Can we get this? Can we get this?
Okay, so I decided to have another run and did it absolutely clean. No problem at all. Well, actually, that wasn't strictly true, to be fair. This wasn't my next attempt. This was my next attempt.
Oh, you can't, I guess you need a different approach to that, don't you? You can't put power on that tree root.
Now, I know it looks nothing on the GoPro, but trust me, it's actually really quite difficult. And if you watch my videos, you know I have determination. I hate being defeated.
Oh, shit. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just is super slippery. Now, poor old Brent, he actually did it clean on his first attempt.
Another attempt?
I know, I've already done it.
No, you didn't. If it's not on film, you haven't done it.
The problem is, if it's not on camera, it never happened.
One more.
And so he was determined to get it on camera.
All right, let's call that a wrap, eh? No pressure, Brooke.
Brooke decided he just didn't want to make a fool of himself on camera, so just had the one go.
Another attempt?
Okay, now mate, let's just carry on.
Alright, so the track of the day. This one is called Rehab. I'm on the KTM Prowler still, and I'm following Brooke down, who's now on the Trek rail. So what have we learned? Well, I think we've learned that the KTM Prowler is a pretty damn awesome bike. All three of us really enjoyed riding it, and we all took to riding it very quickly as well. Now, I have made a more detailed review of this bike, and so if you haven't seen that already, check that out. With a bit of luck, there'll be a link to that at the end of this video or in the description. Woo! What else have we learned? Well, Brooke's a newbie to mountain biking, and he really enjoyed it and took to it incredibly quickly. I think, to be honest, if you enjoy mountain biking and you get a chance to have a decent ride on an e-bike, it's just a different type of riding, but it is ridiculously good fun, and I don't think you need to be an invalid or an old man with a dodgy knees to really enjoy riding an e-bike. I think if you're younger and you're still fit and active, it's just another form of mountain biking. We also, well, as I say, Brooke and Brent rode all three of the bikes, and I've ridden all three of them at different stages. And to be honest, enjoyed
Amazing
riding
good grip
all of
on
them.
this
So
thing.
the reality is, I think a lot of people stress over which e-bike to buy. The reality is most of them are pretty damn good fun, and whichever one, you'll probably enjoy it. Love making these videos for you. If you enjoy them, love it if you subscribe, hit the old like button, and I always enjoy answering your comments at the end of the video. So anyway, must be getting into the track pretty damn soon, I would think.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, fun as.
One more.
All right, Brooke, so you've broken your e-bike cherry, so to speak. How did you enjoy, firstly, riding an e-bike?
Actually, I have to say, I really enjoyed it. Missed a couple of things from the normal bike, but on balance, I'd definitely be into it.
And what did you think of the KTM? It's a bit of a beast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic to ride. You certainly knew you had a bike underneath you. Probably the spring was a little bit tight for me today, but
Well, you're a bit skinny though, I guess a bit. So maybe a lighter weight spring for you. And Brent, you also he got to try the KTM as well. How did that compare with your rail, do you think?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Didn't feel like I thought it might be with 180 travel, be a bit baggy and slow, but no, it felt really tight, nice and tight. You could pop it around all over the place. It was hilarious.
All right, well that was, I guess this is officially the end of this video now. I'm going to go and give the bike a bit of a clean and take it back. It's an awesome piece of kit. If you are interested in one, say Electrify New Zealand up on the North Shore and various other places in the country sell these things. So anyway, we'll see you on the next one.